Chose Stockton for a few reasons. I guess I would say to home was big. Cost of attendance was a big factor as well. For a university of its size, Stockton has a lot to offer in terms of like the degree I was pursuing in the sciences. Classes were really unique and really engaging. The research experience was also really good. Allowed me to be like close to home. It was good cost of attendance, and I thought I got a very quality education. Something that I've learned now that I've been in grad school, I think being at a school like Stockton, professors are so involved in the classes and the professors get to know you as a person and a student very well. And I think that is a unique learning environment that Stockton has compared to like other people that I know that went to bigger universities. And so I think that's something unique to Stockton that was very valuable for my experience in going to grad school. Typically, like for me, since I pursued a degree in science, I think like kind of like I mentioned, the professors being really involved. Like now that I've met other people, I realized that in hindsight, the professors were so instrumental in my education, not only in like the teaching, but also the research environment as well. Being at an institution with like all undergrads in like Stockton setting, it allowed me to develop as a researcher individually and without really like having a close grad student or a postdoc to work with. It's a very unique environment. Didn't realize that at the time, but now that I'm here in grad school and I see what it's like to work with all grad students, I'm very grateful that I got the chance to develop myself as a researcher like very early on in undergrad. As a grad student, pretty much all I do right now on a day-to-day basis is my research. So just sort of developing like the soft skills of research, like the troubleshooting skills, the problem solving skills, and like the frame of mind in undergrad or being exposed to that was very critical and has directly translated into what I do now. The topic that I research now is not at all related to what I did in undergrad, but a lot of the skills and like the problem solving mindset has directly carried over. After Stockton, I applied to PhD programs in chemistry, and I ended up at Northwestern University, where I'm pursuing a PhD in chemistry. I didn't have like a grad student sort of looking over my application process or my application materials. And so I guess, I mean, I did fine on my own and with like the help of my professors, but I think something that's useful like at a school like Northwestern is being surrounded by grad students and postdocs. They're like such a great resource when the professors don't have like a ton of time to really help your application. And I've done that for many undergrads here. I've helped them a lot. I utilized my professors a lot. I didn't really ask any other people that I knew, like other undergrads at Stockton. The application process was it was a lot of work. I applied to like 12 schools or something, all in the span of like a few months. And then there were no interviews there's no interviews for chemistry. I just got into the schools and then I did like virtual visits before choosing where I ended up. It's a lot of work, apply for grad school on top of all my classes, but I think like with the time management skills that I had developed over the past few years, I was able to balance it pretty well. My advice would definitely be, well, I would say chemistry is a great choice. I think chemistry is a great major in general because I think there's a lot of different career paths you can pursue, or there's a lot of different areas of science and research that you could go into. And that's one reason I pursued chemistry in grad school. My research now is very interdisciplinary. So I use aspects of chemistry, but I also utilize a lot of knowledge I learned at Stockton through biochemistry, molecular biology. There's also elements of like engineering and material science in my research. And I think all of that is connected very well through chemistry. And so that's why I think chemistry is a great major for an undergrad to pursue, especially if you're not quite sure which direction you want to pursue afterwards. Advice for chemistry specifically is definitely exposing yourself to research and seeing what's out there, because I think to feel the payoff for a chemistry major, the classes that you take in chemistry are very fundamental to what you might end up doing. But the research that's out there and like modern chemistry is not gonna, you're not really gonna do titrations in real life, but it's necessary to understand that information in order to like truly appreciate what's out there in the field of chemistry. So getting involved in research and exposing yourself to as many different areas as possible, I guess would be my advice. I guess I have an open mind, but every time people ask me that question, I sort of lean back on that. I had a really good experience TAing here. I TA'd like 4 quarters. We're on the quarter system, and I really liked it. I had like a TA position called a super TA, which was a lot more involved in like designing the class and things like that. And I very much enjoyed that, even though it was a lot of work. Yeah, even after going through all that, I still really like teaching, and that's probably been the most rewarding experience out of grad school. And so I guess I would probably choose that if I had to pick right now. I feel like I'm giving back because I actually have an undergrad mentee now. Teach him science, but teach him like life advice that I have. But yeah, it's pretty cool to like give back in terms of research. And yeah, I try to give him the perspective of what it was like when I was an undergrad and to what it is like what he has here. So I think that's another cool experience that I am now kind of starting out.